Here's Brody Brazil.
The voicemail line is always ready for your call 24/7. The phone number is 8334-BRODY. You've got a question or a comment or a compliment or even a critique. I literally listen to every single message, and then I get to play back and respond to the very best ones.
Hey, Brody. My name's Chris, calling from Denver, Colorado. My question for you is, what's your thoughts on the Rockies hiring Mr. Moneyball DePodesta?
Paul DePodesta.
52 years old, guy just spent the last decade as the chief strategy officer for the Browns. We saw how that worked out with Deshaun Watson. So, I don't know. I just kind of want your thoughts. You're a baseball guy, so, you worked in California where he worked for the A's and for the Dodgers. So,
right.
I think you know him personally probably. So, just kind of want to get your thoughts on what Rockies fans expect after 119 losses the year before. So, thanks, Brody, for everything you do. Videos are great. Thank you.
Hey, Chris, I really appreciate the call and the support here on the channel. I do not know Paul DePodesta personally. He was with the A's maybe at the beginning of when I started to professionally work alongside the team, but I'm very well aware of him and his contributions. And yes, he was famously or infamously documented, but also left out name-wise from the movie Moneyball. They never got his approval, I think, to actually be depicted as him, right? They couldn't use his name, image, or likeness. But Paul DePodesta, as I'm checking, officially of this morning when I'm recording the video, has been named president of baseball operations for the Colorado Rockies. This is a team which also, at this moment of me recording, does not have a manager. They are one of the last big league teams to do that hiring. And they were one of the first teams to kind of be in the unknown of, well, who is our manager and what is the interim versus permanent situation? So as I'm recording this, yes, we do know that Paul DePodesta has been hired, but we do not know who the team's field manager is. And as you reference, coming off a 119-loss season, which is actually, crazy enough, this isn't as bad as it was on pace to be. At one point, earlier in the year, I think it was April or May, maybe even into June, this was still a Rockies team that was on pace for 130 losses. Think about that record if it actually went that way, 32 and 130. Oh my goodness. And it's crazy how we've seen the White Sox of the last couple years get to 120 losses and the Rockies at 119 and on pace for far more than that. What is going on with baseball that some of the worst teams are almost getting worse than ever before, if that makes sense? And is that part of the gap and the competitive imbalance that is existing in Major League Baseball and is a huge problem for Major League Baseball? I'll save more on that for a different video. But the point here is that, yes, historically bad, 119 losses, you can see it two ways. Really bad, obviously really bad for the Rockies, and they've had multiple 100-loss seasons, but not as bad as it could have been at some point. They actually rallied to be about 10 wins better than they were on pace to be. Two other candidates for this job that Paul DePodesta switched sports for, right? He was working for the Cleveland Browns, has now come back to baseball after a significant time away from the sport. Two other candidates reportedly passed on this job. Now, passing on the job could mean that they just like their current situation better, or maybe they were looking at this and saying, well, it is a president of baseball operations job. There are only 30 of these. They don't come up that often, but man, this one is a lot of work. It could be a statement against where the team is at. It could be a statement towards the interview process, something they didn't like. It could be a lot of things, or it could be as simple as, hey, I'm good, I'm fine, thank you for the offer, and, no insult associated with this. But it is important and I'm not knocking Paul DePodesta saying, well, he's the third choice. He's obviously got a long background in this type of thing, and I think the Rockies, in their best interest, should and have to go with somebody who's been there, done that, understands this. I don't think the Rockies at this juncture, for a president of baseball operations or eventually a GM, I don't think they want to go with inexperience. They need somebody to get them out of the mud. So again, they're in this weird spot. They also need to make an official hire on the manager. But here's what I really want to talk about with the Rockies. I can't think of too many other teams right now in professional sports. And this is a temporary thing. It's always changing and it's a bit fluid. But at this moment, right here, right now, is there a pro sports team that is more cooked than the Colorado Rockies? My son used that expression the other day. He's 8 for the first time. I never heard him say that somebody was cooked. I think he was talking about me. You're cooked, Dad, in a game. But are the Rockies in this division literally cooked. And whether they get better or not, right? Even if the Rockies become a 500 team, 81-81, you are still in this division not only playing a lot of games every season against the Dodgers, against the Padres, against the Giants, against the D-backs, and you know what? Probably in that order of threat level, and maybe even the D-backs are ahead of the Giants. I don't know. That remains to be seen. So it's twofold. Playing against those teams a lot based on the schedule, but also having a really tough chance trying to surpass any of those teams in the division standings that you're in. The NL West is an absolute beast. The NL West is almost like the AL East, where you've got the Yankees and the Red Sox and, the Toronto Blue Jays, who have always kind of emerged and then declined, but then emerged back again. Baltimore has been a sneaky, interesting team. They haven't always spent, but now they're under new ownership. And the Rays have been very sneaky too. The AL East for basically 2 decades has always been like, whoa. Now the NL West is, and it's got a lot to do with spending. It's got a lot to do with competitive imbalance. Again, save that for a different video. But if you're the Rockies in this division, how do you get out? What do you even do? Like, you have declined, you have not improved, you're basically that house that's not even, is it a fixer-upper anymore? Like, the land value is great, the property value is great, but the value of the structure is like, and their farm system has been not necessarily highly regarded. It's one thing if your pro team is in decline, but at least you have the pipeline to rely on. And there is some optimism with the pipeline. I know their catcher just won a Gold Glove. I get all of that, but there's still so much more work to be done for this Rockies organization to get back to decency. And again, even if you're a decent team, you are still going up against this. So my point here in just spelling out the Rockies, and I take no pride in this, I take no enjoyment in this, and I'm not even going to dive too much deeper into it because it's kind of depressing. And we can talk about this from a multitude of levels of just ownership and management and everything between. The fans aren't bad. The fans are great. Denver sports fans are great. Coors Field, great atmosphere. City of Denver as a major league town, all great. Love it. Right? Like, the Rockies should be a good thing. The Rockies should be great for baseball. Instead, like, they're not spending up to where they should. They're saying that, you know what, we're actually good this year. We lost 100 plus games, but don't expect much from us in the way of change. What? Are you trying? Like, what exactly is going on here? This might be one of the biggest and messiest rebuilds in all of pro sports. And I feel bad for that, but I've just got to say it, that they might be cooked more than anybody else in pro sports. So let me know what you think about the Colorado Rockies down in the comment section below. Also, thumbs up while you're down there helps me, this video, and this channel. And don't forget to subscribe. I would love to see you back here next time.